we have some more moments like what's our worst and best favorite parts of different series. You were saying just before that
Full Metal Alchemist. To be quite honest,
the 4th episode, right?
I don't remember.
it was like 4th or 5th
read
episode.
it,
It's
so I'm
usually
not
a
really
4th
sure
or 5th
about that.
episode thing, but yeah,
Yeah,
the
very
most
early.
iconic part of the series is the two main characters meet this father, and he has an adorable little girl and an adorable dog. He comes back. The two brothers come back later into the series and find out that the guy kind of went crazy and fused his daughter and dog together.
Oh, and chimeras, unfortunately, in this series, because they're not meant to be fused together, they don't last long.
So sadly,
So he essentially ended up killing both the dog and the daughter, and oh my god, just the look. You can find this picture online, and it's often used in memes that want to like just tug on your heartstrings.
I've seen cosplays of it.
Cosplays of it, like I didn't watch this series until college, so I was 19, 20 at the time.
And it still got you.
And oh my god, to this day, I cannot sit there and see that without going.
Oh, another thing that gets everyone teared up is
Colonel Mayhew.
yeah.
Oh my god!
My
A very popular character who's always showing off pictures of his daughter and everything.
Sweet
And
man.
he sadly passes away, and there's a horrible scene.
He's murdered.
He's murdered, and his
He's
daughter's
super
like,
murdered.
Daddy's supposed to be working. Why isn't Daddy getting up? And you're like, no, daughter, no.
I've never seen Full Out Metal Alchemist. All I know about it is people reacting to Maze Hughes dying and the Chimera.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, oh, the kid, the dog are so cute together, and then,
No.
oh no,
Oh no.
oh no.
Like I said, 20 years old, and that was 7 years ago, and it still tugs on me to this day.
Alright, so I have another topic off this one, so we can get some more good feels, some sad feels. Does anyone play D&D?
I'm obsessed.
To many that might not know, D&D is Dungeons and Dragons, which a lot of people don't know about the series. Is everyone thinks it's demonic and evil and stuff. It's actually just imagination and math. Lots and lots of math.
Legit storytelling and math.
Yeah.
It's theater for kids with anxiety.
Yeah, it's improv for people who don't like leaving the house.
And math.
And math.
Lots
so
of
much
math.
math
Lots
and
of
dice
dice.
rolling.
Oof.
Lots of dice rolling, and you
Lot
bring a
of bureaucracy.
calculator.
Did not bring?
What?
I didn't bring any of my dice. I have so much dice now.
You'll have to
If
bring
you
dice
guys give me
next
the
time.
running next time, I'll bring all my books.
Oh,
Yes,
I-
lots of books.
3D
Because there's so
I have
many
PDFs
creatures and
and have any
monsters you gotta
physical
keep
books.
track of.
Like,
Sorry?
There's so many books about
Oh
all
my
the different
God.
monsters and creatures and
So
species
many
you gotta keep track of.
expansion packs.
But yeah, we'll have to make large space for you in your books next time. And you bring your dice.
Should do a whole
We should do a whole episode on D&D.
tabletop role playing.
oh
Yes.
yeah.
Basically more.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, we did a whole gaming episode, and I forgot to ask about D&D, but it was just me and Sam that day, so we didn't really know much. I've only played like one campaign and stuff, so I don't know as much as you guys do, because you actually had a D&D group a while back.
Yeah,
Yep.
Doc was our dungeon master
Mhm.
when I played, and then which kind of got me into dungeon mastering.
Yep.
So I have now DM'd 2 different games,
Yep.
one of which is a homebrew, so it's one that I made myself,
Okay.
and the other is Kustrat.
Oh, Curse of Strahd.
That's the vampire one, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
What's
the
the-
vampire one.
It's a vampire.
You want me to talk about that for a
Yeah,
minute?
yeah, of course.
'Cause
Talk about
I know some things about Curse of Strahd. Let me tell you something.
Well, yeah, explain to the
So-
guests what that actually is.
2 major things about Curse of Strahd. First off, to my knowledge, first Dungeons and Dragons campaign ever packaged and like released
Mhm.
way back in like I want to say the 80s.
Okay.
It is based entirely off of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, okay. I figured
It's
from
the
name.
exact same plot, except
Okay.
like instead of the main guy, you got a bunch of yahoos.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now,
That's
we
the
weren't
only way you can
yahoos.
describe a D&D party, really.
Yeah, it's
a bunch
just-
of
just
yahoos.
yeah.
I'm just saying,
Oh,
having,
bunch of
having a
nerds.
6-foot creature that looks like a dragon and then a halfling as
Oh.
your party
Yeah, that's
is
not
totally
good.
not weird at all.
A lizard
No,
man,
weird.
a cat pirate, and a high elf walk into a bar. That was the first campaign I ever played in. That was the basic setup of
My only campaign, I was
The
a
plot
deer.
hook.
Oh yeah, a deer druid who was trying to find a potion to get pregnant.
Right. Anyway, second thing
Yeah.
about Curse of Strahd.
It's a pain.
It's a what?
It's a pain in the butt.
Oh, okay. And
Yes!
How so?
Thank you!
I think mostly it caused me troubles because I started dungeon mastering from scratch, basically. I
Mhm.
didn't have the player's handbook or a little, like, you can buy a kit that comes with, like, a little adventure you
A little
can start
starter
off
kit?
with.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
some-
started off.
Yeah, with some pre-made characters, too, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And, like, I got used to working with stuff I had made.
Mm-hmm.
And the details I need to do my work is not details whoever Whatever-
Designs, the adventure.
whatever conglomeration of authors and writers and
Mm-hmm.
statisticians or whatever who put that book together, it's not details they deemed necessary.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, there was a lot of frantic Googling when I tried to run that because I was like, okay, I know how it looks in my mind's eye, but they super didn't include any tips on how to describe this. What the hell do you call this part of the doorway? Just like really dumb, mundane crap like that, and it's
Just basic little things.
constantly.
Well, with Curse of Strahd, and I've seen this doing my own DM of it, that it's one of those things that they'll sit there and they'll describe what it kind of looks like and what a high enough perception check will view,
Yeah.
and they'll sit down, they'll describe what monsters you're encountering and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're not actually instructed on how to roleplay your NPCs, which are non-playable characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a lot of NPCs in this particular this particular campaign, and you're supposed to interact with them,
And they don't tell you what to do.
and
Yeah,
it's
like-
never actually described how to actually roleplay them
Yeah.
as people.
Yeah.
I remember we were doing. They've got a little section cut off as like a kind of a prologue.
No,
You
okay.
kind of like a prologue where
they
it's
got a little mini
it's a little mini
thing
adventure.
included.
Okay.
Yeah,
And there's a character in that, a little girl if memory serves.
Bella and
And-
Thorn.
The siblings.
Okay.
Yes.
They give you what they know, what they like their ages, a little bit of backstory, but you gotta come up with how they act on the fly, and that's not
Well, that's
easy
the whole-
for kid characters.
I know, but
It's not
sometimes
easy
that's
for
the
any
best
character.
part about D&D is because
Yeah,
you
it
use
can
your
be good, but,
imagination.
like-
You tell you how they'll react, how you'll react. That's the whole part of the game.
Spoiler alert for Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
These kids aren't actually real,
Yeah,
which makes it even harder. They're illusions created by the house.
Yeah, so like you get to the point where your characters have to interact with the kids, and the book's like, okay, so the kids know these things can know this can happen if
Oh, but
they
since-
interact in this way,
So
but they
they're
don't tell you
illusions.
how to act them out, right?
Because they're
And you're
illusions,
put
it's
right
a
on
little
the spot.
They
You're-
got a specific way.
You got
and they
like
only
the
know certain
combined
things.
crossroads of you're acting two kid characters out
Yeah.
of nowhere, and you're acting two ghosts who are also kids, and you've got this weird amalgamation of a child, but like a spooky child, and you want to be subtle and you want to hint at this because they're supposed to try and figure it out, but like they don't tell you this in advance,
Yeah.
and they tell you to read the whole thing through, but I've read it
To
cover
be
to cover
quite-
like
to be
3
quite
times.
honest,
Doesn't help.
A Curse of Strahd, the way that
Oh.
they've written the adventure, is very convoluted.
Okay.
To be
Yes.
quite honest, because
They kind of just throw you in there and
Seen
let you
whole
go.
arguments on how exactly you should play Curse of Strahd
oh my god,
and how you should play Strahd himself.
There's so many different ways.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the kids, all I could think is those two creepy kids in the hallways. Like, come play with us.
That's pretty much what they
Oh,
are.
yes.
Pretty much,
But
yeah.
like they don't tell you.
So much of
Oh.
D&D is just flying by the seat of your pants. So much, yeah.
That's the
How
first
to
thing I
play
heard
Curse of
say.
Strahd.
Come play with us.
How to play Curse of Strahd. Don't.
Dude,
Rewrite it from scratch. Like,
Figure something else out.
I can
Homebrew
appreciate
it.
they had to
Oh,
translate it. Like, Curse of Strahd is the name of the more modern version for
Okay.
5th edition.
Yeah.
And there's an older version I don't recall the name of. I
Mhm.
think it's got a similar sounding name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the exact same thing, but for the 1st edition of
Mhm.
Dungeons and Dragons. And I can appreciate that's hard to translate from 1st edition, which I haven't even looked at the guidebooks on that, but all I hear is how much more complicated it is,
Oh, geez.
numbers-wise.
Yeah, it was really complicated back in the day.
And,
Oh,
like,
jeez.
They
So
simplified it
basically-
so
so
much.
basically they simplified it. And stuff.
yeah. Plus, there's like story you have to translate to like role-playing,
Yeah.
dice stuff. Like it's I can appreciate that it's hard, but also like it's Wizards of the Coast. I think you guys have enough money to maybe put a little more into
Mhm.
this, especially since it was like some big anniversary thing. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is the first adventure we ever put out. We're gonna remake it so all you new guys can play it without having to lose
Yeah,
your
go
minds
all out,
in
go all
the
out.
catacombs of 1st edition.
Hello. So Patricia sadly had to go home, so we are a little condensed, but we're still all here. So my next question would be, what is your favorite, funniest D&D story? For me, it was the only campaign I've ever done, where it's my dear druid. Me and my crew came across this bridge. The bridge is like one of those boat ones that go upward and stuff. And I'm like, I can jump it! And since I'm a deer, I can actually go like 60 feet in the air with my jumping and stuff. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna jump it. I rolled my dice, got a nat 20, for those who don't know means natural 20, and I cleared it easily. So then one of my stupid guys were like, I can do it too! He rolled and he hit a 1, so he went, and so I decided, oh no, I gotta save him! So I rolled again, got another nat 20, reached down, grabbed him, and held him over. The rest of the team were like, yeah, we're gonna wait for the bridge. My second story is later on we were at this weird floating island thing where a bunch of like 2 different fox tribes were at war. And one of the stupid member, he decided that he's going to insult the chancellor, and they got into a fight and he cut off his tongue. So I was like, oh no! Oh yeah, I'm a healer! So I healed his tongue. So now the guy talks with a lisp, but he still works just fine. But yeah, those are my 2 funniest stories. On to you guys!
Oh,
They have
dear.
tons of stories because they
You
played
have
a lot
something in
longer
mind.
and longer than I have,
Okay.
so.
Our campaign, right?
Okay, so the campaign that Jacques DM'd for us, we were playing Curse of Strahd, and in the house, which is kind of like the prologue, first mini adventure, okay?
Little chunk.
At the top of the house stairs, there is an animated suit of armor. Okay, and we weren't very powerful at this point in time. We were first, second level,
Yeah.
and we every hit that we made, this armor's natural armor, because he's a suit of armor, deflected all of our shots. So we're like, dude, okay, we're going to try something and see if it works. So me playing a dragonborn, who
Mhm.
looks basically like a dragon, with my 6-foot high height and my uber strength, decided I'm going to yank the arm off this guy. So I literally sat there and yanked the arm off of this animated suit of armor, and it worked.
Yay!
It totally worked. So we decided, okay, we're going to Scooby-Doo this thing. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Scooby-Doo,
How could you not? He's
That's
almost
impossible.
100 years old.
it's 60.
He's 60, sorry, he's 60 years old.
And so we said, we're going to Scooby-Doo this thing. And in Scooby-Doo, oftentimes, if they hit a suit of armor, it breaks apart,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we essentially used all of our fight to pull the arms and legs and head off of this suit of armor so that we would not die. Because Jack gets a little bit, into it when they DM, and we literally thought that they were going to kill off our
I
characters.
wouldn't do that.
I don't know. We almost died when we encountered the mimic later that date?
My memory is
Just
hot garbage.
saying, we almost died when we encountered the mimic. But the Scooby-Doo one was,
That's hilarious.
that was absolutely hilarious. And I think the other really funny one was when I was playing with my ex-coworker Melissa and her family.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically a library family, essentially.
Yeah.
Because Melissa used to work here at the library.
Oh, okay.
There was her husband Sean, her daughter Megan, and one of the other ex-library co-workers' sons.
And they all played D&D?
And they all played D&D.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
but the thing is they wanted me to introduce D&D to them.
Oh, so they're all first timers?
So they were all first timers, so trying to get them to actually know what they were doing.
Oh, God, yeah.
And especially since it was my homebrew,
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
yeah, it was funny. So I had them in a cemetery,
Ooh,
okay?
spooky.
Because the cemetery housed the entrance to a secret organization.
Ooh.
But it was inside of like an elevated crypt,
Mm-hmm.
one of the ones that you'd see like down in New Orleans and stuff.
Yeah.
But the door was locked
Mm-hmm.
from the inside, so they couldn't get in that way.
Yeah.
But it had a trap door on top of the crypt.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, this is funny. One of the Dragonborns sat there and took a great big rock in his hand with a length of rope tied around
Mm-hmm.
and decided, I'm going to throw this on top of or over the crypt in
Mhm.
order to climb up.
Yeah.
The thing is they forgot to tie it off on the other end.
Oops.
So when he rolled, I think it was like it was a high roll
Like
in
a
order
9 or 10 or
in
something.
order to clear the mausoleum
Yeah.
with this great big rock. I said, "Awesome. Your rock clears the mausoleum with the rope trailing after it, and the rope clears the mausoleum as well." And he's like, "Oh, right. We should have tied that off to something. Oops."
He didn't
Oh,
expect it.
boy.
He didn't expect it to go all the way down and lose the rope.
What? It was just on the other side.
Yeah.
So all you had to do was go around the mausoleum and pick it back up. But it was an eye-opener to them that, yeah, I was going to let you succeed in your throw, but you failed to mention
He tied it off.
whether or not you were going to actually have this rope tied off to something so it didn't follow the rock.
Yeah, like you gotta think this stuff through.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. As a player, you actually
You gotta pay attention to
you
what you're
got you
doing.
gotta pay attention to what you're doing, or else you DM, depending on what type of DM they are,
If
and
they're,
if they're
Sneak
trying
in
to
there
teach
and
you
teach
something,
if they're chaotic or if they're
right?
good and
They,
stuff.
like Jacques said, they're going to teach you that
Oh,
you
yeah.
must pay attention to what your character is doing.
Another
Yeah.
good fact about D&D is learn about your situations and think about stuff ahead of time. So a lot of good rules with D&D. It's a lot of life lessons and learn about thinking outside the box to solve puzzles, because sometimes they're very creative with different puzzles and games that you can do to solve a dungeon or stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really fun game you should try, or get into someone who knows it like these two, and they can teach you.
We'll talk so much more
Ugh.
on. Anyways, you're
Anyway, yeah, your
funniest
story.
ones.
My story. Okay, so this is my first campaign, and the way I started this out, for a little bit of context, was there was only me and one other friend,
Okay.
and we were having some trouble getting like another member because you kind of need 3 people to start.
Yeah, it's
including
kind of
the
weird. It's just
dungeon
the
master,
dungeon master and
and
the player.
even then, you're gonna want more people.
Oh yeah, that's the best
So
part of the
I
game
thought,
is playing with
okay,
friends.
we're not going to be able to get someone else for probably a couple months, maybe.
Mhm.
So I'll make a character and play while I DM, which isn't recommended. I don't
No, that's
like it.
weird. That's weird.
It's so hard to do, and
I
like,
did that. That's hard.
just make an NPC. Just make an NPC and make it easier on yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did that. So we had the other character who's a sorcerer. We had me, who was a wizard. And then later on, we gained 2 more players, a rogue and I think he was just a fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, at least you had
So-
a tank.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. So we decided, okay, we're partway through this big main quest. We're going to take a break and try something
Yeah.
I got offline, just as a little aside, little something to do.
Yeah.
Little smaller sealed off thing to see how we like it. So this starts out, we're all staying in these different rooms in an inn in this little snowy little town. And in the middle of the night,
Mhm.
our dragonborn, the fighter, hears some sounds. And he gets up and there's this animated floating wooden sword.
You really like using
It's trying to
animated things.
I mean, they're pretty good. It's just a living object, really. Like,
Okay.
They're so useful. Anyway, it starts attacking him, so he takes it out nice and easy. He's a big guy. No big deal. It's a wooden sword. Now, my wizard was not a very well built character. Not for a wizard. And I didn't know how to play wizards at the time. So this guy had 7 hit points,
Yeah.
which isn't very much.
Yeah.
No AC, which means absolutely no armor, no defense, nothing,
Oh, jeez.
and is focused on charisma, which is not a stat that wizards use.
So he's a very flashy wizard.
Yeah, in the next room over is my wizard. My wizard wakes up, comes out the door, also has a sword attacking them, but guess what? Doesn't take care of it whatsoever. They get cut in half and die instantaneously in one
Oh,
hit.
jeez. So much for that.
Miracle of miracles. The rest of the party goes downstairs, and there's this little gift as part of the quest. It's a Christmas themed thing. So they each have this stocking, and there's a random item you can get. And I see in there, okay, so like, my guy didn't have a good chance to go. We're gonna need him for something else later on. There's an item in here that revives someone. So I'll just fudge a number real quick, and we can have that and revive him, and I'll bend the rules a little bit just to make it easier on all of us, and make this not like a big thing that I have to deal with.
Yeah.
Because I already had this other campaign completely planned out for when we were done.
Yeah.
And I kind of needed my wizard guy for this.
Yeah. You don't want him to stay dead.
Yeah, like, he's the entire reason this whole thing is happening. I need this wizard.
Yeah.
So they use that. Everybody's back to full health. They're all fine. Fast forward a bit. They go where the quest leads them. There's this house at the top of the mountain, out of town, in the snow.
Mhm.
And on the way there, they're fighting this, I think, ice elemental. These
Okay.
guys are pretty gnarly. But there's 4 of us, so we figure, like, okay, it's gonna be a pain in the butt, but we can deal with this. Our rogue likes her bow and arrows.
Mhm.
Shoots this thing, and as I'm describing it, I decide, okay, it's gonna stick out of its head. It's made of ice. The arrow can go in pretty easy.
Yeah.
We can have some arrows sticking out of this guy because that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, it's right smack dab in the forehead. Right for doing a cool move off of.
Yeah.
Like, you can reach up and grab that thing.
You could do like
And-
flips on it.
My wizard is at the end of the round. So everybody has their turn
Yeah.
after the rogue shoots this arrow. And no one uses this to do anything cool.
Ah, boo.
So I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I'm ever going to do in my life. My wizard reaches up, grabs the thing, tries to get up on its back, and stab it. Which sounds really cool, right?
Yeah.
You jump up on this ice elemental and you stab it with a dagger. That's got to do something, right? No. No, absolutely not. Daggers they're garbage. Unless you're a rogue or a fighter or someone with great stats for that kind of thing, they're absolute garbage.
But you're a
I
wizard.
did.
You're a
Yeah,
wizard.
I don't have good stats for this. So I managed to climb up on it. I'm holding on. I'm on top of this ice golem, and I pull out my little dagger, and I stab it, and genuinely do just 1 point of damage out of like 30. So like I tickle this guy, and then it's his turn next. See,
Oh, jeez.
so
Oh no.
I'm like, okay, this is my character. I can't be too merciful because I want to try and play this properly.
Yeah.
Grabs the wizard, spikes him into the ground, and my wizard dies a second time in one hit. Just the worst wizard you've ever seen.
Oh god.
That time he stays dead.
Oh,
So like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
this happened within 30 minutes of each other.
Oh,
I
jeez.
need to fix this wizard.
You need to raise some stats here.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That's fine. So, our last segments, we're going to talk about games, such as video games or mobile games. We did that last week with Pat, but now we got new people to talk with. So, do you guys have any games that you like? Video games, mobile games?
I don't really play a lot of games.
Not even like Animal Crossing? Or even like...
I downloaded an app for like Animal Crossing, but I
Oh,
never
the
played
camp
it.
one? Oh yeah, the camp one's really cool. Why don't you tell us about the camp game?
It was really fun. I didn't really play it too much, but it was quite fun, just like building stuff and
Going around getting lots of fruit everywhere. Because they're like, I want a piece of fruit. Oh, gotta go to another section, get that fruit. And another person wants it. Or it's like, after, I enjoyed that game too, but after a while I kind of quit because it got really boring. You're basically just doing furniture and gathering fruit from different sections. Gotta go back and forth like crazy. It was kind of annoying after a while, so yeah, I kind of quit that game. But yeah, so you liked that game. Are there any other games? Do you like Mario games? Or even Sonic games?
I don't really play too many games like that. I did start Mystic Messenger
Oh
recently.
yeah, that's a really good game. Yeah. Mystic Messenger is an awesome mobile game where you basically get to pick a guy that you like and you get to go on their route where you basically go with them and try to figure out a huge mystery with all the other guys and stuff, and you basically have romance with that one guy you picked.
Or
It's
you
a-
can get a bad route.
Or yes, there are bad routes and good routes, but yeah, you go through the route and try to get the good ending. You always want the good ending. Bad endings are never good.
I got a bad ending the first time, and it was one of my favorite ones.
Oh no!
It wasn't like super bad, but I think he kind of got kidnapped a little bit.
Oh no!
That kind of sucks, but I think I'm getting another bad ending, and I don't like it because it's my other favorite one.
Oh no! That's sad. Alright, Jacques, what you?
Ooh,
Here we go.
I'm very into PC games. Nothing recent, not really.
When we were younger, I definitely remember you were really into Into the Woods,
Oh yeah,
that one you
Night
were
in the Woods.
Night in the Woods. That's
I was obsessed with that for all of 2014.
yeah.
And the game didn't even come out until 2018.
Oh jeez.
So that tells you something.
You were
I don't know
watched
what, but it
videos.
tells
You
you
watched
something.
tons of videos.
I
of
showed
it.
every single person I knew and
Me.
could get to sit still for 2 seconds to watch the trailer.
Yep, that was
Like-
me. I was one of them.
Yeah, I made my friends watch it. I had it downloaded to my iPod. Like, I kid you not. And
Oh yeah.
I printed out screenshots.
Didn't
bit
you
of fan art.
Didn't you make plushies or something too from
I
those
think I
dudes?
tried to, but I didn't end up
You didn't end up
finishing
working out.
anything. Tried to do a cosplay group for it, but that,
Didn't work out.
yeah. I've been very into Minecraft lately. It's a classic.
Very classic. Yeah.
I really recommend playing with shaders.
What are shaders?
It's this, I guess, technically a mod that makes Minecraft just a lot nicer to look at.
Oh, okay.
So if you see those really hyper-realistic, beautiful, gorgeous pictures of someone playing Minecraft with these sunlight streaming through the trees and rippling water, that's a shader.
Oh, interesting.
My personal favorite is Silder's Vibrant Shaders. I am fortunate enough that I have a computer that can run it on the high version,
Ooh.
so the water is good enough to drink.
Ooh, nice.
It's genuinely, you just want to stand there and look at everything.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Plus, if you're just holding a torch in your hand, it lights up where you're standing instead of having to put down the torch. So that's super convenient.
It actually lights up the room.
So it actually functions like a torch.
There you go. Animal Crossing.
Yep, I've been very into the new Animal Crossing. absolutely, like, that's part of my schedule. 3 hours of Animal Crossing every day. Gotta
Get up, get your mail, and get your all the fossils, and
give gifts to all my neighbors.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody loves me.
Yeah. The
I'm
fossils
in the middle
really-
of. They added terraforming in this one.
Yep.
It's absolutely bonkers.
I heard it. I heard it was.
I'm in the middle of reconstructing my entire island, and it's a nightmare.
The last thing
It's
I did on
so
my
pretty.
island, I was doing basically trying to make some little ramp so I can actually access my higher levels of my island, or even if I put another villager on the opposite side of the island, make sure there's a bridge so they can actually get around and check out everybody else. But raising money is hard in that game. But
Oh yeah, I'm always
unless you
bankrupt.
unless you can cheat or something. But I would not recommend it. No time skipping, not allowed.
Yeah, my friends are always playing the stock market.
Yeah,
Which is the stock market, just with turnips.
The turnip market.
Yeah, turnips are a lot easier to understand, I've found, in this game. I
Oh,
never got into them in the
Me
game
either.
before.
Did you hear that actually 2 celebrities went into some random person's island because they,
Yep.
Elijah Wood and Cole Sprouse,
Yep.
they got to, somebody put on Twitter saying, I got some good turnip prices, and we got 2 celebrities from 2 different islands. They're like, hey, can I come over and check that out? And they're like, oh my god, yeah. So I think the Elijah Wood one, he came and he picked some fruit and he did some turnips, and he's like, oh cool, thanks for having me. And it was like, babe, when Colin Sprouse came to another person's island, he actually drew on their little board. There was a cute little beetle eating turnip, and he drew it there, and it was the cutest thing ever. Apparently the twins were actually Cole Sprouse and Dylan Sprouse. They're really into anime and manga.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, another game I recommend, probably a little more affordable than Animal Crossing and a Switch,
Oh god, yeah.
Is-
That's expensive.
Slime Rancher.
Ooh,
Oh.
what's that about?
You are a new rancher on this little planet. They don't give you a name for the planet. You're a slime rancher, which basically means you raise and farm slimes. Basically, you run around and take care of these little goop balls that drop resources that you can sell. It's a lot of fun. I've been playing it since, I think, 2016. I want to say it was officially fully released out of early access a year or 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've got every achievement. I know everything you need to know about that game. I'm this close to being a millionaire. My main file is this close to having a full year's worth of days. And when you don't have to sleep in that game, and each day is 30, an hour or something,
Yeah,
that kind of tells you a lot.
yeah.
Got this absolutely adorable plot too. The rancher who previously owned your house, where you live now, has gone missing. And he's left these little messages all over the places you can explore.
So
Your
it's a
little chunk
scavenger
of the
hunt.
planet. Yeah. And you
That's
get to the end, and I really recommend it. I think it's somewhere in the $20 range,
Oh, that's good.
and works on most computers.
Yeah.
Especially since it's a little bit of an older game now.
Mm-hmm.
Works really, really well, even on the higher graphic settings.
Nice.
I'm a bit of a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to play games versus watching stuff on Netflix or Disney Plus or anything else. So I have on my little table a whole bunch of Pokemon games. I have completed all of these Pokemon games at least once.
I've only ever completed a few times.
Yeah, and when I say completed, I mean I basically completed the national decks because
Oh, wow.
you trade amongst your different games,
Oh,
right?
you go crazy.
I go absolutely crazy when it comes to Pokemon games. And it's really cool because my first ever Pokemon game that I had
Mm-hmm.
was the original Gold, Pokemon Gold,
Mm-hmm.
which came out way back in,
Way-
God, it was 98 or something like that.
Way back in the 90s,
Way
2000s.
back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was pretty much it was the second generation.
Yeah,
of
second
Pokemon.
generation game. Because it went from red, blue, green only in Japan, and then yellow, and then it went to gold and
Gold and silver and platinum.
Yeah.
So I started that game when my brother let me use his Game Boy, and he gave me his version of Gold.
So basically, he started you off, and
He
that just-
definitely started me off on Pokemon.
another sibling who started you off with anime, because my brothers are the one who got me into Dragon Ball Z, and then I took it off.
Oh
like
yeah,
crazy.
he totally got me into everything.
Oh, yeah.
And he got me into video gaming because when we were younger, we had the original Nintendo. So
and Nintendo and Nintendo 64.
Started-
and
started-
like, Super Nintendo and
yeah,
stuff.
so started playing Duck Hunt and Mario
Yeah.
way back when.
Yeah.
And then we
way
got
back
into the Nintendo 64, where
Mario 64. And
we actually had a game called Diddy Kong Racing,
I love Diddy Kong Racing.
which was my absolute favorite
I
game to
love
play
that.
back then. Then we started getting into the portable games with the Nintendo systems,
Yep.
which was your Pokemon,
your Game Boys and
your
stuff.
Game Boys and stuff.
DS's.
And then I got into Xbox.
Mhm.
I'm a big Xbox player. I would sneak into my brother's room, and he knows this. I love you, Robbie. And I would sneak into his room when he was working and play the entire night, even though I had school the next morning. I love you, Mom. And I would sit there and I'd play Halo and various other Xbox games. Then I discovered Robbie got me into Mass Effect.
Ooh.
Okay, and it's basically a space opera role-playing game. Essentially, is what it is. And I
Is that the one
have
with Shepard in it or something?
that's Commander Shepard.
Oh yeah, the one who can't dance.
Yeah, literally Shepard sits there and dances like this.
I thought it was more slow, but anyway, yeah.
Well, depends on
You're a
how
better
fast
dancer.
you do it.
You're a better dancer than he is then.
Everybody is a better dancer than Shepard.
Yeah.
So that kind of got me on the BioWare kick.
Yeah.
And currently, I have recently got a new Xbox One because my 360 finally gave up the ghost.
Finally died.
It finally died. I was using it a lot. And I have gotten into Dragon Age Inquisition.
Ooh.
So that's the one where there's a great big hole in the sky and you essentially have to save the world.
Just like Link in the giant moon. And
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Except the moon's not going to kill you.
Yeah. Well,
And-
it kind of crashes into the earth.
Right. So the hole just kind of stays there and it has demons spitting out of it and everything. So
So it's not actually the hole that's gonna kill you. It's what
it's
comes
the
out.
demons. It's the demons that
Yeah.
are going to come out and kill you.
Yeah.
So I've been really into that one, and I've also gotten into, and I'm usually not a zombie person,
No.
but I started playing State of Decay 2.
Ooh.
So in State of Decay, essentially the world has been overrun by zombies, and it's a survival game.
Mhm.
You have to navigate to various places on the map to bring back supplies such as food, medicine, ammo, gasoline for your vehicles,
Yep.
materials for building up your base,
Yeah.
as well as trying to maintain the morale in your base.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then everyone just fights each other.
Gotta keep spirits up.
Gotta keep the spirits up. So I've been really, really into those two games right now. And then I found out
Mhm.
just recently that I can get Fable.
Ooh.
the Xbox 360 Fable Anniversary Edition
Ooh.
on my
Special editions.
Xbox One. And I have just started playing that.
Nice.
And I don't know why I did not get obsessed with Fable before this.
those kind
to be
of
quite honest.
are life RPGs where you get to live on your life on a farm and get married, have kids.
Right,
Blah, blah, blah.
I am very much into the role-playing games.
I love
It's a reason why I'm so into Dungeons and Dragons.
Because it's all about lifestyles and stories.
Exactly, and I'm a writer.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I'm a writer. I like storytelling, and being able to play through a story
Mhm.
is even if there's a plot line that you have to follow, but just being able to affect the world around you via the
Exactly.
decisions that you make. So such as in Mass Effect, where you can either do Paragon or Renegade, you can either be a good guy or a bad guy.
Ooh, speaking of that, there
Right.
is an anime that just came out recently, The Life of an Empress or a Villainess, where this girl, she loves playing this online game where you get to play as the main character, and she's in love with all these different boys, but there's a villain character who's always trying to thwart you from getting to your love. And at the end, the lady character, she always dies. So she gets sucked into this game, and she's the villainess. So she's like, oh crap, I gotta figure a way, because no matter which route I take, I ended up dying or getting, like, banned from the kingdom or whatever. So she's, like, decided, like, I'm gonna change my own story. And she'd be trying to be the most nicest, and everyone's practically, even the main character of the game, and all the guys are kind of all getting toward her and stuff. So she's like, yeah, I'm gonna change the story so I don't die or get, abandoned and stuff. So that's the whole thing, is, like, just change your point of view, and you can, like, do anything.
Absolutely.